Hello guys, welcome back to Chris Flies Planes. Chris here of course, and today we are back in Kerbal Space Program and we're going to do things a little bit differently today after our repeated attempts to get into orbit. So let's jump and have a look at R&D. We've got 30 science points, everything costs 45, so we're not going to be making any progress there. Let's see that, let's have a look at mission control and let's see if we can make some money here. So I'm going to, I can't get rid of that. Can I get rid of you? And we are going to have a look at... What are we going to have a look at? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Let's just work our way through some of these contracts here. Actually, I want to see if I can upgrade mission control, just so we can get access to slightly more contracts. And let's have a look here. I'm actually just going to get all of these conductor focus observational survey of Kerbin. Today we are all about making some money, so let's do that. Let's get the radial round. Let's just get as many things as possible here. Let's see what we can do about ticking some of these off. Let's pop into the vehicle assembly building and pull up our settings here. So we've got a whole lot of take a crew report in flight above so many meters. Let's jump into those. We're going to stick a Mark 16 parachute on this and a radial mounted drogue chute on this as well, seeing as I know that there are contracts to test both of those. We're going to stick a heat shield on. Actually, let's look at science here. Oh, we still haven't got the science bay junior. Okay, let's just stick the heat shield on and structural decoupler, stacked coupler here. Let's grab a large fuel tank. Let's grab a couple of those and stick on a rocket there. Let's grab another stacked decoupler. Let's bang on 1, 2, 3. Another rocket, a swivel one this time. Then let's have a look at our weight quickly. We're looking still pretty grand on everything there, so let's grab a radial decoupler, 2 of those. Wash them there, and we're going to pop on 2 of these thumpers. And are we too heavy? We are much too heavy. Those things are bloody beastly. Let's stick a couple of fleas on instead. Quite the downgrade there. We definitely need to upgrade our launch pad just to make this a little bit easier. We might actually be able to stick on a couple of the hammers. Let's try that. I think we've got a mission to test these as well. Yep, so that looks great. Let's stick on a nose cone on each of those. Let's stick on 4 winglets if we possibly can. So let's do 4. It is. Let's try and make them vaguely symmetrical. 4 please. Stop resetting please. Stop resetting. There we go. So yes. Beautiful. Okay. So let's pop out to launch here and let's make ourselves a little bit of a plan on how we are going to make some money and some science. Why have we got no visuals here? Let's revert flight to a VAB. Okay, and let's launch once more. There we go, that's better. Okay, let's pop on SAS. Let's check our staging. So we've got 2 rocket boosters, 2 decouplers. Okay, we're looking pretty fantastic on the old staging front. I'm actually going to create another stage and just move the radial drogue chutes into that. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Let's pop out, have a look at the map here. So we've got to be over, and over. Do you reckon we can hit both of these guys? That would be pretty fantastic if we could. Let's see what we can do. So let's throttle her up 2/3. We're just going to let those two solid rocket boosters do their work here, get us lifted up a little bit. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to rotate her around to probably there. I think it's where we want to be. Let's get our next stage launch, and we are going to start tilting. We are definitely going the wrong direction here. Let's bring around this way. Let's see if we can fix this. Is that... no. So we want to... which way are we actually going to be heading here? We're going to be heading, looks like about southeast, which is going to be a heading of around 135. So let's see if we can just change this apoapsis around here. Still got a reasonable amount of fuel. Just fighting this aircraft over. Seeing what we can do. We just need to fly over those 2 points relatively high. Not even that high, honestly. So if we can just pull this apoapsis around. Let's go back out of map mode. And let's do that. Looks like we're going to hit one of them. We may be able to adjust our orbit to hit the other one. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay. So first thing to see is, can we get a crew report? Are we... I mean, that's about as over as it we're going to be. Okay, that is done. Right, let's see if we can maybe... Oh no, we don't want to do that. We want to be going the other way here. Okay, yeah, so it's there. So let's point our head over there and let's see if we can just burn this haplapse around, collect some more science here. I don't believe this is the way that this science was meant to be collected. I'm not sure if that was enough there, but let's just have a look. Okay, looks like we're going to get it here. Can we please? Oh yeah, we've got two of them. Okay, fantastic news. Okay, so next up, we've got to test our Mark 12R radial mount drogue chute in flight over Kerbin, between 6,000 to 11,000 meters. Let's just make sure we are pointed retrograde here. That is prograde. as we are going to be re-entering the atmosphere fairly soon. Let's actually just get rid of that stage. And we are on the way back down. Let's fast forward things a little bit here. We hit the atmosphere fairly soon. There we go. Burn off all that speed. And let's launch our radial drones. There is another contract completed. Okay, so that was 3 contracts completed. Next up we've got these 2 here. I'm not sure if we are going to be able to get both of those in one flight. It might be interesting to try. We're going to come down for a very slow splashdown here. Let's actually cut the drogue chutes. They're not really gaining us anything right now. Yeah, but they're not actually slowing us down at all, honestly. There we go, that should be a good chunk of money coming in here. The reason I want the money is I want to start upgrading things and just getting some of the tools that I am used to. Let's get that recovered, see how we did on the old science front here. We got 0 science, that is fantastic. But we did get a reasonable chunk of money there. I want to see if I can upgrade this. We can, fantastic. So that is now upgraded. And I think that means it might be time. Let's stop messing around here. Let's get her into orbit. What are we going to do? Let's put one of these guys on. And let's put a liquid fuel engine on. We're going to put one of these little chappies on. A couple of these little chappies. We are going to just swing around to the back here and stick one of the Kerbal engineering things on here. Let's grab a couple of goo pods and we can pop them on here. Just realised I should probably not forget about the important stuff here. So let's pop one of those on, one of those on, one of those on. Then stack the coupler. That's our first stage. For our second stage, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick a swivel liquid engine on there. We are then going to go radial to coupler to 3 times symmetry here. Going to pop those guys on. Let's get a solid. So that is how this rocket is going to go, guys. I'm done messing around trying to get into orbit. It's time to actually do this. Let's get some fins on at the bottom there. And there we go. Right, I think this is probably deserving of a new name here. Let's check our staging. 3 rockets. 3, 1, decouple, 1, go. Okay, let's just have a look through all of our stuff here and make sure there's nothing we are blatantly missing. I would say we're looking pretty grand here. Let's got our crew. Obviously we've got, we'll put Valentina in the hot seat today. Obviously there's nothing else we can do about that. So, yeah. I think we're looking pretty good. Let's call this the Nevis Mark 1. It's our biggest mountain here in the UK. And vehicle assembly building. Too many parts. Let's remove the drogue chutes. Maybe not a wise decision, but nonetheless, let's head out to the launch pad and let's see if we can't get this baby into orbit. Okay. So, all the staging is correct, we've just checked it. SAS is on, throttle up to 2/3, and go. We've definitely got a little bit of wobble in the old SRBs there. I'm going to start trying to lean it into a little bit of a gravity turn here. I'm not sure we're going to win this fight though. We are most certainly going up right now. Okay. That is our apoapsis already. As you can see, we are going up extremely steeply. There was nothing delicate about this flight. There was nothing considered or efficient, but we tried the whole delicate, considered and efficient. It didn't really get us anywhere. Jebediah is dead. It's just time we progress this series and get into orbit. Let's bring her around onto the horizon here, ready for our circularization burn. $1,700 delta V left. We know that is enough to get us into orbit. It's more than enough. I am not worried at all here. Our apoapsis has dropped below 70,000, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference here. It's a little bit of an off orbit. It's not perfectly centered by any stretch of the imagination. Going to take quite a burn by the looks of it. Map view. Well, that was a bit of a screw up. I managed to eject both stages there, including our last stage with the last bit of our fuel in. So we didn't actually get into orbit once again there. But we could have done, and that is the important thing. There is very little science available to us right now. Let's orient ourselves prograde here. Let's get everything fast forwarded and let's get ourselves back onto the Earth. We can launch again there. Obviously, we had everything we needed there to get ourselves into orbit. I want to make one small little change just to help us get into orbit. I'll show you what that is once we're down through the atmosphere. I'm hoping one small little staging change should enable us to pull a gravity turn a little bit lower, get some efficiency, and actually have plenty of fuel to make sure we get into orbit. Okay, that is us through. Let's wait for our parachute. Let's get that guy out. Also have a look at a few more missions here and see if there are some more monies we can make. Parachute open quite low there, but we are absolutely fine. Coming down at about 6 meters per second, which is pretty normal at this point. Boop. Beautiful. Let's recover that vessel. There's another flight not into orbit. But that was mostly due to pilot error, me being the pilot of course, rather than any sort of problems with our design. Which is the big thruster? Which of the thrusters we are using? We are using the Thumper, okay. Let's have a look at that contract. That might be a bit of a free contract for us. It's quite a high orbit there. It might be a possibility, of course. Let's grab that. Okay, it seems like that's all we're going to really achieve on this next flight. Let's jump into the vehicle assembly building here. What I want to do is grab these guys and move them up. We do want to make sure that they're not going to interfere with our fins too much. Is that looking vaguely symmetrical? That is not particularly symmetrical. Honestly, it's going to be easier to move the fins than it is going to be to move the rockets. Let's grab 3 of these. Let's get this nice and level. And staging, we're going to move these down there like so. Because this is a swivel liquid fuel engine, it's just going to give us a little bit of control. And I think we're looking pretty great there. Let's head out to the launch pad. And let's see if we can get into orbit here. SAS is on. Throttle her up to... I'm going to throttle her up just to 1/3. We don't really need a lot of extra push, we just need a little bit of direction. And let's go. Okay, we do have a little bit more control authority here. So we can start pulling her over into a gravity turn. We're at 300 meters per second already. We really don't want to spend too much of our fuel just going vertically upwards. So let's just keep trying to pull her over here. Just seeing if we... Okay, throttle down. Pop those guys off and throttle her back up. Now I want to really aggressively push her over into a gravity turn here. There we go. Ooh, I wasn't watching my apparatus there, but a little bit of a higher apparatus than intended, but that shouldn't be a major problem. We've still got a lot less delta V than I wish we had actually. Let's fast forward over to our time to apparatus and let's see if we can put her into orbit here. I think maybe we screwed up there again on the launch a little bit just by burning so far past our apparatus, or intended apparatus I should say. But we shall find out fairly soon. We did use a lot more delta V initially with the gravity turn to start circularizing our orbit quite low and not be inefficient, so I'm hoping maybe that will have helped. We are seeing that periapsis coming down. I'm not personally sure it's coming down fast enough. And maybe it is. I did the same thing again. I'm just going to restart that flight. And we're just going to go again on that one because that was pretty dumb of me. So let's throttle her up again to 1/3. I'm actually going to start her off into a gravity turn straight away here. Just want to squeeze all the efficiency out of this. Really kind of battling to keep on the 90-degree mark here. A lot of roll. Okay, let's try and get everything a little bit under control here. Again, we burnt a little bit high on the apoapsis there, but it's not a major issue. 14,000 meters too high. It's not the end of the world. Let's just roll her over into our circularization position here. Let's just fast forward, try and make sure. There we go. Okay. So this time we've just got to try really hard not to screw up on the staging here. We are pretty much where we want to be here, and let's go full throttle. Let's see what we can do. We have, in theory, we have more than enough delta V to do this. In practice, my ability to screw up is pretty endless in this game, but I'm sure a lot of you have played this game, you know how easy it is to make a mistake. Oh, my staging's wrong. That's the problem we're having here. It wasn't actually my fault. Well, I mean, I did the staging, so inherently it was my fault, but it wasn't my poor piloting, it was my poor designing. Okay, we did screw up slightly there in that we got the throttle stuck on. This puts us in a bit of a situation here. There's no science available there. Let's just keep that regardless. So what is the problem, you ask? We have no fuel. Unfortunately, I accidentally decoupled that stage before I'd finished using the fuel. So Valentina, while she is in orbit, and I've got to say, an exceptionally high orbit, let's just take a round up there. She's certainly going higher than any Kerbal's gone before. However, we can't get her back. Is it's a little bit of a problem, and it's a problem that's going to have to wait until the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Fly safe.